Well, happy New Year's Eve to everybody. It is Wednesday, December 31st, the last day of 2025, and the third day of our June the 6th schedule. Finds us in Milwaukee. It'll be the New York Yankees taking on the Milwaukee Brewers at County Stadium in Milwaukee. County Stadium is a symmetrical ballpark. Singles are 1 to 6 for both left and right. Home runs 1 to 5 left and right. This is a clash of the first and third place teams. New York is 34 and 20. Milwaukee is 34 and 18. Both teams with 34 wins, as does Toronto with their win yesterday against Baltimore. They acquired their 34th win, but I believe they have 18 losses. So I'm sorry, 17 losses. 34 and 18 because they're one game back, but same in the win column and two games back in the loss column. So it's a tight race here in the AL East, as was expected, I think. Hello, Mr. ID Jester. Did you catch or know anything about my battles with Strat-O-Matic, the company, in the last week or so? I don't know if you've been following or not, but I almost did a ID like rant about that, but hopefully that will be taken care of this morning. Okay, so you didn't hear about it. Okay. I don't have the stuff down here with me right now, but basically what I did, just to give you a catch up here, ID, uh, they had their 25% off sale. And this was, earlier in the month, I think, some point. I don't remember what exact time frame was. But they had 25% off season sets. So I said, okay, I really want the 1972 set. I don't really need anything else, but I want the 72 set specifically because I really like 1972. But thinking about how much they're going to charge me for shipping, I said, well, you know what? I really need to order another set just to make it worthwhile. So I got the 1984 set as well. And both of those came in wonderfully, no problems whatsoever. As I was scanning the website, what caught my eye was the 2020 set, not the regular set, but they have what they call an Imagine set. As you know, 2020 was a shortened season due to COVID. But what Strat-O-Matic did is they, I guess, extrapolated stats and made cards as if it was going to be a 162 game schedule, and so I guess they kind of forecasted what stats would have been for a full season, and they sold it as an Imagine set, and it was like only like 20 something dollars for the whole set plus the extra players. I figured, well, what the hell, I'll try it. So when they shipped me my items, I got everything in no problem. And if you ever order anything from Strat-O-Matic with extra players, you know they have the base set in one cellophane wrapping and the extra players in another cellophane wrapping. Well, I got my two cellophane wrappings, but when I went to the second cellophane wrapping, it was not the extra players. It was another 10 to 12 team sheets that were duplicates of the original. And, long story short, but it turned out they had a printing error or whatever. So I contacted Strat-O-Matic via email, told them what happened. They said, no problem, we'll get your extra cards out to you. So they sent me another set of extra cards, or a set of extra cards. I got it the other day, opened it up. It's not the extra cards. It's yet a duplicate of what I already had, which is another team sheet smattering of 12 or 13 sheets of cards with team sheets on them. So now I got like 3 Los Angeles Dodgers teams or whatever. So I did a very not so good video. I actually put it on private now, so I don't have it up there now anymore. But I did a not so nice video. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to email. I'm going to call them. So I actually called them. And talked to somebody and told them what happened, explicitly what happened. And he got on. The person I was talking to, I guess, was talking to somebody in their local little warehouse or whatever they've got there. And they realized that it was a shipping error or whatever. So he said, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to do this way. We may or may not have the extra players because that 2020 set just didn't sell as well as they thought it was going to sell. So you don't know if it's going to be if they're going to have the inventory or not. I said, and he said, if we don't have them, we'll just refund you the difference. I said, okay, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. I mean, I really like to have them, but if some reason you don't have them in stock or whatever, that's fine. Just refund me whatever the couple buck difference is, and I'll be good with it. I said, you got my email address. Just let me know one way or the other what you want to do with it. And this was on Monday. I called them Monday afternoon. Monday, like 2 hours later, I get a FedEx email alert telling me that it's been shipped and it's going to get here today. Supposed to get here today between 12:45 and 3:45, I think is the time that FedEx gave me. So it's supposed to be the real life 288 extra players so that I can do my demolition league. And if it is, I will come on here and as soon as it gets here, I'm going to do a live unbagging. I'm not going to open it up ahead of time. I'm going to do a live unbagging. If it's correct, I will come in here and sing Strat's praises and tell them what great customer service they have. If it's the wrong thing, that will be the last Strat set I ever buy, Strat purchase period I ever buy. If it's the wrong thing, because I'm not dealing with this crap anymore. So you better get it right, is all I'm saying. So, but enough of that. That's just the history on that, is what was going on there. But it's supposed to arrive according to FedEx. It says it's out for delivery, and it's supposed to get it between 12:45 and 3:45. So the minute it gets here, and the minute I have an availability, I'm going to come on live this afternoon with an unbagging. I'm not going to open up ahead of time. Everybody's going to get to see real time if they sent me the right items or not. And I printed out. Oh shoot, I got it downstairs. Oh well, I don't have it with me. I printed out the roster sheet for the 2020 because it didn't come with the roster sheet. Yeah, way to go, Strat, on that one. So I went to their website and printed it off. So I've got the 286 extra player roster sheet. So I know who's supposed to be there. If I open it up and the first page is all Los Angeles Dodgers, I know they screwed up again. That's all I can say about that. So anyway, I apologize to everybody else that I'm ranting, but I wanted to get ID up to so anyway, let's get to the game instead. But I just wanted to get that in play so that people know what's going on, because supposedly it's supposed to get here. So we're going to find, well, it is going to get here. Something's getting here. I just don't know if it's the right thing. Now, I will say Strat-O-Matic, at least on the surface, appears to have done the right thing, or at least attempted to do the right thing, because like I said, I ordered this. I talked to them Monday afternoon, and this thing is going to get here basically 48 hours later. So they didn't use their standard shipping on this one. Now, granted, it's just it's not a big box, a heavy box or anything. It's just like a manila envelope kind of thing with bubble wrap with the cards. But still, either way, the fact that they were going to get, because I told the guy I'm not in any big rush. I just want to get it right, But anyway, all right, I digress. Let me get back here and hello, Kenyon, Yankees, Bob, Mr. Guterman, good to see you. Dave or Dav, good to see all of you. Happy New Year's almost. If you have any plans tonight, please be safe with your party. Got our dice here, and we get the Yankees and the Brewers. And like I said, it's an important game in the American League East to replay because they're so tightly together. Yankees 2 games out from the Brew Crew. It's going to be Charles Hudson against Bill Wegman, the pitching matchup in this one. Bill Wegman on the real season was 12-11 with a 4.24 ERA. On the replay, Wegman is 5-1 with a 3.42 ERA. 76 innings pitched, 75 hits, 18 walks, and 34 strikeouts. So he's done pretty well for himself. Pitcher-catcher hold quotient. The catcher for the Brewers, Surhoff, is 0. Wegman's a -1, so we got a net -1. Hudson, the starter for the Yankees, is a -2. Rick Cerrone's a -1 for a net -3. Wegman, ironically, has no wild pitch rating, but he does have a 4 balk rating. Hudson has a 6 wild pitch and a 0 balk rating. So hopefully those that Ohio State-Miami game should be interesting. Miami, there was some debate whether they should have gotten in or not, but it should be a good game. Probably a low-scoring defensive game, I would imagine. But now it won't be a meltdown. If they screw it up, it won't be a meltdown. It's just say, here it is, and I'll say goodbye, Strat. I've got enough Strat cards now to last me my whole lifetime, so I don't need to buy anymore. I don't care what season they come out with. If they mess it up, if they get it right, I'm all on. All right, so leading off for the New York. Now just dropped my die. Where'd that go? Where the heck did that go? Get ready to go, and then you start shaking the dice in your hand, and one of them falls out. And the way those dice are, they will fall in any direction, it seems like. So, and it's a red. Oh, there it is. I found it. Just saw it. It's hiding on me. Okay. So Claudell Washington is your leadoff batter. On the season, he hit 279 with 9 homers, 44 driven in. On the replay, he's really killing it. 360, 2 homers, 15 driven in, and 86 at bats. Hello, Dr. D. Good to see you. But before, I don't know why this light didn't come on, so let's turn this puppy on so we get some light over here. Let there be light, as they say. But before we have the first pitch, we have to have the ceremonial first sip. And Jeff, that's good coffee. Dr. D, they're supposed to come this afternoon between 12:45 and 3:45. That's the FedEx email delivery status that I've got. It says it's out for delivery, so I know it's here in town. It's not up. I mean, yesterday it was up in Hagerstown, Maryland, but I knew today it showed it was local, so it says out for delivery. So we'll see. And once I get it, I will do a few minutes after I get it, I will do a live unbagging, or what do you want to call it. All right, so here's Claudell. Let's get this game rolling. 2-7, and he struck him out. Claudell, swing and a miss. As History Maker Baseball would say, he was a whiffer on that one. He whiffed it. All right, here's Willie Randolph. And also a programming alert. Hello, Dan. Assuming I get everything from Strat-O-Matic, the extra players like I'm supposed to get, I will be doing a 2020 Imagine Set Demolition League, and I will be doing a live selection show. I don't know what day, but I will be doing a live selection show where it's going to be all on the computer, not on no cards and dice. It's all on the computer. I'm going to have they have this program where you can fill in different names and stuff on a big colored wheel. I'm going to fill in all the team names, all 30 names, then spin the wheel. The first 20 names that come up, those teams get eliminated. The last 10 standing will be in the league. So it's going to be totally random. I'm not going to hand-pick teams. It's just whatever comes up, comes up. So if we don't get any Yankees, we don't get any Boston, don't get any Dodgers, so be it. All right, here's Willie Randolph. 110 for Randolph. He's going to ground to short. I don't know anything about the 2020 season anyway because I wasn't really following it. I just thought it made perfect sense for a demolition league because it's kind of fictional anyway, in a sense. I mean, the real players, real teams, but the stats are fictional. So here's Dan Pasqua. Pasqua hitting 250 on the replay, 10 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 233 real world. Hello, Praise. Good to see you. Or Philip. 3-8. And that is going to be a 1-6 single. That's a 13, so he will line to second. And that will end the inning. So the Yankees go quietly in the first. And if you're wondering where Ricky Henderson and Don Mattingly are, they are both on the disabled list for a couple more weeks, for at least 2 more weeks, I think. So Dan, I don't know how they came up with their stats. I'm assuming they just took their regular stats and extrapolated what they thought the stats would be based on a 162 game schedule, but I don't really know. I'm guessing the website probably has something about that, but the only reason I got it because it was like with the extra players, it was like $28. And in fact, I'm already ordering this stuff. I can get it with free shipping because I'm already paying for shipping for the other stuff. Let me go ahead and get it and just try it out. So, and I only got it with the Demolition League in mind. That's the only purpose I could see for it. I have no desire to get the actual 2020 cards and try to replay a 60-game season. So, That's a question I don't know the answer to, Dan, unfortunately. I do not know. I know that the cards themselves have the word Imagine set right where on the basic side, right where the stats are. All right, here is Paul Molitor. Well, first of all, pitching Charles Hudson. Can't forget about Charles Hudson. Hudson 11-7 with a 3.61 ERA in the real season. On the replay, he's 5-2 with a 3.26 ERA, 61 innings pitched, 42 hits, 24 walks. I'm sorry, my foot hit the mute button. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. What I was saying, in case you missed it, is Ron Guidry, in the real season, had 5 relief appearances before he got his starts. And so far, I've used him in 3 relief games. So I will use him today, at least in 1 inning, because in 2 days, on June the 8th, I believe, or 9th, one of the two, he starts. So I want to get at least the 4th outing of him to try to recreate the stats as best I can. All right, here's Paul Molitor talking about stats. Him and Alan Trammell are eating this thing up. Molitor on the replay is hitting .405 and 126 at bats, 6 homers, 35 driven inning at 353 real world. Good morning to you, Bruce. Hudson 5-6, and that's a 1-4 double, but the 20 dies on 11, so that's a fly to center. Claudel Washington will haul it in. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Robin Yount. So Robin Yount will step in. He's hitting .322 on the replay, 11 homers, 44 driven inning at 312 real world. 2-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Tollison will take care of that. 2 up and 2 down. And here is Cecil Cooper. Cooper hitting .223, 6 homers, 18 driven in on the replay. He hit .248 real world. 5-8. That's a strikeout for Hudson, his first. And at the end of 1 inning to play, we got no score from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Yankees and the Brew Crew. Bill Wegman back out will face Gary Ward, left fielder. Gary Ward hitting .231 on the replay, 7 homers, 24 driven in. He hit .248 real world. 2-6 for Ward, and that's a ground ball to third. Molitor will take care of it. 1 down. And that brings up Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Winfield hitting .274 on the replay, 12 homers, 33 driven in. He hit .275 real world. 1-7, and he will strike out. Wegman with his second strikeout. Takes care of Mr. Winfield. Hello, Grapes. Good to see you. I got the wrong guy in here. What happened to Pasqua? Where did he go? Oh, down here. Did I bet Pasqua? No, Pasqua's already. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking something else. Mike Pagliarulo, the batter, third baseman. Pagliarulo hitting .247 on the replay, 15 homers, 34 driven in. He at .234 real world. 5-5 lefty. That's going to be a fly to left, and that's hauled in by Rob Deere. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Bill Wegman. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. It'll bring up Deere, Brock, and Braggs for the Brew Crew. Deere on the replay hitting .255, 6 homers, 31 driven in. He at .238 real world. 5-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tollison, 3E22. 3E22, 3 and a 9. 3 and a 9. 3 and a 9, he'll get to it barely with a G3. But that's a 17. That could be an issue. He is an E22 and a 17. E22, a 17 is a two-base error on Wayne Tollison. You get those 17s and 18s, you run into problems. And there it is right there. 17 is a two-base error on Wayne Tollison. Boy, where's Bobby Meacham when you need him? E6 on Tollison, two-base error. And that'll put Deere at second base with nobody out. He will not be held, obviously, not running very well. Here's Greg Brock. Brock hitting 328 on the replay, 6 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 299 real world. First havoc roll of the game, first base runner. Here's Brock. 310 for Brock. That's a fly ball, right field B, question mark. Winfield's a -4 arm. I don't know if I got to remember my rules here because the B and the B question mark sometimes get a little fuzzy, but I don't think you can move up on that. I think it's only, I don't know if the option's there or not. I don't think it is. Let me double check the rules here. Yeah, fly ball B only. So fly ball B question mark is only to go home, not to go to third. So he wouldn't go anyway because Winfield had a -4 arm. So I just wanted to double check it and make sure I was correct. Here is here's Glenn Braggs. Surhoff's on deck. Braggs, the right fielder. He is hitting 283 on the replay. 6 homers, 30 driven in. He at 269 real world. Nothing on the havoc. That's a 410 against Hudson. That's a line out to first. Pasqua snags it. 2 down. And now in a clutch situation is B.J. Surhoff. And in the clutch, Surhoff will gain a hit on 2-2 and on 1-8. So he gains 2 extra hits to his credit. He's hitting 346 on the replay, 6 homers, 21 driven in. He at 299 real world. That's a 2-6, and that's going to be a line out to Willie Randolph, and that will end the ball game. I had 9 lineouts yesterday in the Baltimore-Toronto game. This one, only 2 so far, so it's not too bad, but 2 in a row kind of get your attention sometimes. But 2 innings in the books, no score. Go to the top of the third, and the designated hitter, Ron Kittle, will be up for the Yankees. Good morning, Kathy, to you. It'll be the bottom of the order, Kittle, Cerrone, and Tollison. Kittle on the replay hitting 330, 9 homers, 24 driven in. He at 277 real world. 310, and that is a ground ball to short. 1 away. 1 down, and that brings up Rick Cerrone, the catcher. He's hitting 282 on the replay, 2 homers, 11 driven in. He at 243 real season. 1-8, and that is a base on balls. First walk issued by Wegman. If there was nobody out, I'd probably bunt with Tollison. With 1 out, it doesn't make much sense to bunt. So we're going to have him swing away. They will not hold Cerrone on, obviously. Tollison hitting 200 on the replay, 200 even in 160 at-bats. 2 homers, 15 driven in. He at 221 real world. 411, switch hitter. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He's an E13. According to the computer, he's a 3 E13. The cards don't give the range, they just give the error. 3 E13 for Wegman. Hello, Jeremiah. Good to see you. 3 E13 for Wegman. 3 and a 13. Should be okay. 3 and 13 is a G2. And he is an E. I said he was an E13. And that is a 12 for pitcher, E13. There's an 11 and a 13. He just missed it with the 12. He got right in between it. So Wegman, and it was a G. What was I say? It was a 3 and a 13. 3 and 13 is a G2. So they get the force play. They get Cerrone 1-4 on the fielder's choice, with Tollison, the new runner, at first base. Tollison, no threat really to run either, so they won't hold him on. 2 outs, and here's Claudell Washington. He struck out to start the game. 1-6 for Claudell. He's going to, if the runner was in scoring position, this would have turned into a base hit, but the runner at first doesn't change. That does not make it a clutch situation, so it's going to be a fly to center. to end the inning. So Wegman gives up a walk and nothing else. Go to the bottom of the third. Whoops, get this thing right on the computer here. Bottom of the third we go. It'll be Gantner, Swain, and Molitor for the Brew Crew. All right, Jeremiah. Sounds like a lot of fun. I remember having those when I was a kid. I think one was red and one was blue or something or other. And I think you hit them until the head popped up in the air or something like that. It's been a minute since I've done that. So. All right, Gantner hitting 275 on the replay. No homers, 11 driven in. He's hitting 272 real world with 4 home runs. So he hasn't shown any power yet, but we'll see if it's coming. 110, and that's going to be a solid single for Jim Gantner. Leadoff single for Mr. Gantner. We do have a trivia question at the top of the next inning, so be ready for that. Gantner, let's see if he's going to try to get the lead. He's got the asterisk there, so he's got a 17 if he gets the lead. So he's going to try it. Needs a 7. Doesn't get it, so he will hold. And here comes Dale Swain, the shortstop, number 9 hitter. Swain hitting 330 on the replay, 10 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 252 real world. 6-6 switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-19 single. It's only 1 star, but they'll take it. So the bottom 2 in the order start out with base hits. And now the big boys coming up, Molitor and Yount. Molitor's an A bunter, but he's too good of a hitter to bunt. You don't use a guy that's hitting over 400 on the replay to bunt. He's going to swing away. If he hits to a double play, so be it. But I'm not taking anything away from Paul Molitor, the way he hits. 1-4, and he hits into a double play. But hey, you got look at all these good juicy numbers here. I just couldn't justify a bunt there. But it is going to be a 6-4-3 Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop located in Pennsylvania, if you're ever out that way. Molitor hits into the double play. Runner now at third with 2 outs for Robin Yount. That strategy by not bunting kind of backfired on me, but I mean, looking at the situation before the dice roll, it just didn't make sense to me. Not when you got a guy that hits so well. So Yount's in a clutch situation with the runner at third and 2 outs, and in the clutch, his card is completely neutral. He has no adjustments whatsoever. So I guess they rate him as straight up. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. He struck out straight up. So Hudson gets out of the mess with his second strikeout, a double play and a strikeout. Can't do much better than that when you got first and second, nobody out to get out of a jam. You get a double play and you get a strikeout. Boy, that's about as good as you're going to do there. So we go to the top of the 4th, no score. And now if you turn your attention to the chat box, Kathy does have a question for us. See if we can figure it out. It'll be Randolph, Pasqua, and Ward to start the top of the 4th. All right, he led the league in stolen bases from 56 to 64 for the most consecutive seasons in stolen bases. Okay, so that was before Lou Brock, obviously. We got Joel guessing Aparicio, and we've got a guess for Nellie Fox. I have no idea. I remember, obviously Lou Brock, I guess, took over after that. 56 to, I don't remember who the fast guys were back then. That was before my time, obviously. So not quite sure on that one. Joel got it. All right. Louis Aparicio, little Louis. Makes sense, the Go-Go Sox. All right. Thank you for that, Kathy. All right. Top of the 4th we go. Randolph. 5-6, and that's going to be a pop-up to Gantner at second base. So both pitchers kind of on their A game here. And here comes Danny Pasqua. Of course, the Yankees shorthanded, not having Mattingly or Ricky Henderson. 3-5 for Pasqua. He'll draw the base on balls. That's the second walk issued by Wegman. Of course, Pasqua, no threat to run, will not be held. Here's Gary Ward. 4-7. And that is a ground ball shortstop X. Potential double play chance. Swain, a 3E25. 3 and a 13. I don't think that's a G1. I think it's probably a G2. We'll find out. 3 and a 13 is a G2. So get a fielder's choice. If there's no error, that's a 15, though. That's dangerous. 25, E25 and a 15. Oh, there's no 15. He avoided it. 4, 13, 17, and 18. So, oh, that is a third. Oh, I'm sorry, looking over here. That's a 15. Okay, I can make sure I got my right one here. So, no error, but it will be a fielder's choice. It'll go 6-4. And Gary Ward will reach with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Mr. May, Dave Winfield. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. .37, and that's a split chance. 1-16, that's a 14, so it's a single 1-star. Ward only can take second base, but the inning continues for Pagliarulo. It is now a clutch at bat for Pagliarulo. Mike Pagliarulo flew to left field his first chance. In the clutch, he gains the hit on 1-6. That's his only clutch change. He's got a loaded column 3, though. And he found column 3, but he found a 10. But that's still a ballpark blast. But it's only a 5, and that's a 15. So just a deep fly to right. And that will do it. Wegman puts one where he shouldn't have put it, but Pasqua just got under it. And that's going to end the inning. Bottom of the 4th we go. Still zip to zip. Yankees and the Brew Crew. Hudson back out. Will face Cooper, Deere, and Brock. 110. And that is a fly ball to right field where Winfield is there. 1 down. Rob Deere reached on a 2-base error by Tollison his first time up. 2-8, and this time a 1's a double, but everything else will be a fly to center. Flies it out to Claudell Washington for out number 2. And that'll bring up Greg Brock. Brock flew to right field his first chance. 4-6, and that's going to be a base on balls. First walk issued by Mr. Hudson. Brock, no threat to run. Brings up Glenn Braggs. It's a 2-9 for Braggs, and he grounds it to Molitor at third. He'll just throw it to first. Be simple to end the inning. So we played 4 at County Stadium in Milwaukee, and nothing's been settled. Zip to zip. Wegman back out. And he'll face the bottom of the order, Kittle, Cerrone, and Tollison for the Yankees. 1-9, and that is a ground ball to short. 1 away. And that'll bring up Cerrone. He drew a base on balls his first time up, then was forced on a fielder's choice. 5-6, and that's going to be a pop-up to second. Jimmy Gantner right there, 2 down. Wegman has just been in charge the whole game. I mean, he had one little hiccup where he got in trouble and got 2 guys on, but he's pretty much been pretty sharp. Here's Tollison, 6-9, switch hitter bang left. That's a base hit. So Tollison gets the 2-out single. Only the second hit by the Yankees. Tollison will not be held at first base. Here comes Claudell. He's 0 for 2. Certainly missed Ricky Henderson in that leadoff spot, that's for sure. 2-9, and he's going to ground it to first. Brock will just take it to the bag himself, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Yankees. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Still scoreless. And here comes Charles Hudson. This is going to be Hudson's fatigue inning. He does have that number 5 right there. And remember, Guidry will be coming in to pitch relief at some point. I don't know when, but at some point he will. Hello, Some Roads. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. Mortar and Dice Baseball. All right, there we go. Mortar and Dice. There we go. The mortar, the merrier, right? All right. I have nothing against the guys that played baseball games on the computer, but I always prefer the tangibility of having things in my hand, the cards and the dice. But the computer is a wonderful stat keeping tool. All right, here's Surhoff. He lined to second his first time up. 6-4. That's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20. 2E20. Ooh, 2 and a 4. That could be interesting, but I think he'll get to it. 2 and a 4 is a G3. The pound sign's irrelevant because not holding anybody on. So he will get to it. That is a 9, and he is an E20. Third base, E20. There's an 11, 14, and 15, but no 9. So Pagliarulo will make the play. One away. Here's Jimmy Gantner. 2-2 for Jimmy Gantner. That's a pop out to second. Almost went to the 1-2. 2-2 is a pop out to Willie Randolph. 2 down. So Hudson, even though this is his fatigue inning, if he gets Swain here with no problem, then he's going to carry full endurance into the 6th. That's a 4-7. Switch hitter batting left. That's a base on balls. That's the first ding against Mr. Hudson. Only his second walk issued. Swain will not be held. And here comes Paul Molitor. Molitor uncharacteristically 0 for 2 in this game. In fact, he's under 400 now. He's down to 398. That's his updated average. 1-5, but not anymore. Look at this. 1-14 is a home run. That's a 7. It's gone. It's not clean, but it's gone. 1-5. Look at it again for Paul Molitor. A 1-5 is a 1-14 home run, and that is a 7. 15-20 would have been a triple. Molitor had 5 triples in the real season. But this is a goner, and it's going to be a 2-run homer. That innocent 2-out walk by Swain did it. It put Molitor to the plate, and he hits the home run. For Paul Molitor, that is home run number 7 on the replay. He had 16 of them real world. But this is number 7 for him. RBIs 36 and 37, and the Brewers lead it 2-0. So that innocent little 2-out walk proved not to be so innocent, as Paul Molitor made him pay. That'll bring up Robin Yount now as the base is cleared and 2 outs. 1-5, and this might be a back-to-back jack. 1-5 is a 1-15 home run. That's gone. So we do have back-to-back jacks. 1-5. I believe, was that the same roll we had for Molitor? Yeah, 1-5. So the second consecutive 1-5 roll yields the second consecutive home run. So Yount homers, back-to-back jacks. And for Yount, that is home run number 12 on the replay. RBI number 45. He had 21 homers and 103 RBIs in real world. That's going to make Hudson now tired. By rule, he is now tired. There are 2 outs, so they want to at least try to get him out of the inning and face Cecil Cooper. But I believe Ron Guidry will be coming in to pitch the 6th inning. 4-6 against the lefty. That's another walk for Hudson. Boy, starting to lose it here, but I really want to get him through the inning. I really don't want to have to bring in a relief pitcher now, but I might have to. I don't know. If he doesn't get Rob Deere, I think he's gone. If he doesn't get Deere, he's out of here. So this is his last batter, one way or the other, as Blondie once sang. 1-8. That's a strikeout. So he does end in a fine fashion with a strikeout, but 3 runs by the Brew Crew, a 2-run homer and a solo homer, and that is it for Charles Hudson. Ron Guidry will be the new pitcher in the 6th inning. So we will give Hudson 5 innings of pitching. Guidry will be coming in the bottom of the 6th. He's got a +2 hold, so that makes him a +1. So Hudson, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. And let's see about his walks and strikeouts. He walked 3 and struck out 3. So a lot of 3s there. So Wegman now is going to enjoy a 3-0 lead. And he's going to be facing Randolph, Pasqua, and Ward here in the top of the 6th. Randolph, 0 for 2. It's a 4-5, and that's a fly to right field. Braggs will haul it in. 1 down, and Wegman now seems to be on cruise control. And boy, not having Mattingly and not having Henderson really cripples the Yankee lineup. 4-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Swain, a 3E25. 3-15 is going to be good all day long, I would think. Yep, it's a G1. That's an 11, and he's an E25. There is no 11 there, so good play for Swain. 2 down. And that'll send us to Gary Ward. Ward is 0 for 2. 3-6, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Swain will take it again, and that will end the inning. So that'll be it for Mr. Hudson. We will bring in Ron Guidry so he can get one more relief appearance before he starts in a couple days. He's obviously a fresh arm right now, so they bring in Guidry from the bullpen, and we'll get his numbers, real world and replay. Real season, he was 5-8 with a 3.67 ERA. On the replay in relief so far, he is 1-0 with a 1.42 ERA in 3 games, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits in relief. Don't know if that will translate well into the starting rotation once he gets there. I believe he starts on either June 8th or June 9th, one of the two. So he can pitch now and still get a couple days to rest up. This is like his between start side session kind of thing here. So we won't overwork him. We'll pitch him just the 1 inning most likely. We'll see what happens. But he does have a lefty-lefty matchup with Greg Brock. And we do have a trivia question at the top of the 7th inning coming up. Guidry to Brock, 2-5, and that's a strikeout. So Guidry, 2-5 down here. I was looking at 5-5. 2-5 is a ground ball to first. So they get the out, not a strikeout, but they get the out. 1 away. And that brings up Glenn Braggs, followed by another lefty, Surhoff, and another lefty, Gantner. 6-11, and that's a ballpark single check. First one of those, 1-6. That's a 19. So we'll get the old liner to short. Out number 2 for B.J. Surhoff, who was 0 for 2. 6-6 lefty. It's a ground ball shortstop X. We're back to Tollison. He has a 2-base error to his credit already. See if he can make the play this time. 3E22. 3-13 is good. E22, and that is an 11. E22, there is no 11, so it's a good play for Tollison. And Guidry, how about that? A 1-2-3 inning of relief. I might let him go another. Might let him pitch 2 innings in this game. Why not? Help their bullpen anyway. So we're heading to the top of the 7th, and if you turn your attention to the chat, Kathy has a question for us. This will be the fatigue inning for Wegman. He is a number 7 there, so we'll start monitoring his fatigue with this inning right here. So we'll see how that plays out and see if we can figure out this trivia question. Question is, what soft drink was originally developed to become a mixer with whiskey? Wow. What soft drink? Fresca. We got a guess of a Fresca. Boy, that's a blast from the past. I've never heard it. 7-Up. That sounds almost reasonable. but I have no idea. So they're all good guesses to me. No, there's no on all of those. Not ginger ale, I don't think. But Jeremiah guessed ginger ale with me. How about that? Tonic water. Squirt. Was that orange drink? I'm trying to remember what Squirt was. That's a name I remember, but no, it's not that either. Wow. Hope it's not something obvious like Coke or something. But, oh, Tab. That stuff was nasty. That's the one drink I could never drink was Tab. That stuff was, oh man, that stuff was nasty. I don't know what it had in it, but it was terrible. So she's got us stumped right here. All right, while we're getting some guesses in, we'll start at the top of the 7th. Here's Winfield. 6-3, and that's a ground ball first base X. We're looking at Brock, 3E10. 3 and a 15 is good. Mountain Dew. All right, how about that? 3, and it's probably good he gave it to us because we probably wouldn't have got it anyway. We'd eventually got there just by process of elimination. But, all right, so 3E10 for Brock. 3 and a 15 is going to be good all day. That's G1. That's an 11, and Brock is an E10. There's an 11 right there under the E10, so Brock will boot it, and that will be an E3. And now each team has committed an error. Look like a simple play, but sometimes simple is not always that simple. One base error on Mr. Brock. Winfield is aboard. He will not be a threat to run, so he will not be held. And here's Pagliarulo. He's 0 for 2, a couple of flyouts. 6-5, and that's going to be a pop out to first base. Greg Brock right there, one away. One down, and that's going to send up Mr. Ron Kittle, designated hitter. $2-9 for Kittle. That's a ballpark blast for Ron Kittle, but that's a 10. Out of range, just a deep fly to left. Ball's in at the track. 2 down. So 2 down, and that's going to send up the catcher, Rick Cerrone. We are into the pinch hitting area because we're in the 7th inning. So if Cerrone reaches, though, there will be a pinch hitter for Tollison, most likely. 2-8, but he does not reach. It's a fly to center. So they'll pinch hit for Tollison to start the 8th. Most likely. We'll see how it plays out, but that's most likely the decision to make. But the error does not count against Wegman's fatigue, so he's got full endurance going into the 8th inning. Dan, before I became a coffee aficionado back in my younger days in college, Mountain Dew was my choice to stay awake, to study. Mountain Dew was they had something called Jolt Cola back in the day, but I didn't try that. I just went with the old standard Mountain Dew because I wasn't really a coffee drinker back then. I didn't become a coffee drinker until I went in the Army. Then I kind of, by necessity, became a coffee drinker. Fortunately, I didn't become a smoker, but I became a coffee drinker. All right, so 7th inning stretch. We're going to keep rolling here. I'm not going to take any breaks, so we'll just keep rolling on. It'll be Gantner, Swain, and Molitor due up for the Brewers. Still a 3-0 ball game. Guidry in his 2nd inning of relief. It's a 1-2 for Gantner, and he will fly to center, where Claudel Washington hauls it in. And that brings up Dale Swain. The next game in this project is going to be Texas at Minnesota. I do have a commitment on Friday, so I won't be playing anything on Friday. And I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything tomorrow or not. I really don't know. So I'm not going to promise anything on that. So possibly Saturday that game might take place, or I might push it to next week. I don't know. But Charlie Huff and Frank Viola from the Metrodome. That's the next game on the agenda. Now here's Swain. 112 against the lefty. That's a low max, but nobody's on base, so it's just a liner to Pagliarulo. 2 down. And that brings up Paul Molitor. That's a 2-4, and that's a ballpark single check. 1 to 6. That's an 8. So I'm just going to keep the original ground ball to short on this one. And Guidry is going to go 2 solid innings of relief. They will cap Guidry at 2 innings because he is going to start in a couple days, and I want to be realistic about not overusing him. So we're going to cap him at 2 innings, and he's going to retire all 6 that he faces. So excellent outing for Ron Guidry. Yankees will go to their bullpen for the bottom of the 8th. Not sure who they're going to go to yet. We'll figure it out. Right now in the 8th for the Yankees, Bill Wegman's back out because he's got full endurance. Tollison is the scheduled hitter. Let's look and see who they've got on the bench. Not a whole lot because 2 of their bench players are starting. So they really don't have a whole lot on the bench. They got Henry Cotto, 235 hitter. Meacham, 271. And then you got Skinner and Sakata. So, boy, do you bring in Meacham or you just stick with Tollison here? Tollison is 1 for 2. So I think they're actually going to stick with Tollison here. And I just don't know that you gain that much by bringing in Bobby Meacham. You certainly lose something defensively. So we're going to stick with Tollison. He is a switch hitter. You might get something off Wegman's card. 2-5, though, is off his own card. It will be a base hit. So how about that? Tollison is 2 for 3. So sticking with Tollison, at least initially, is the right move, as he gets a base hit to start the top of the 8th. And here's Claudell Washington. Brewer bullpen starting to stir just a tad. Just a tad. Wegman to Washington, 1-6, and that's a fly to center field. On away. Here's Willie Randolph. Pasqua on deck. 5-6, and that's a pop out to Gantner. 2 down. Wegman says, what are you talking about, bullpen? I can handle this. And he certainly can. Good pitch complete game if he pitches well. Here's Gantner. Pasqua. 5-10, and that's going to be a fly to center. So how about that, Wegman? The Brewers sit the bullpen down, and Wegman's going to go for the complete game. I mean, no reason not to. He's pitching a shutout. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers looking for a little bit of insurance. And the new pitcher for the Yankees, we'll figure out who that's going to be. Do they go to righty or do they go to a lefty? Let's see who needs the work or who doesn't want to get overworked. Maybe it might be a better situation here. Let's look at Stoddard. Clements. They've got righty, lefty, righty, lefty. So it's kind of tit for tat. They're going to bring in another lefty, Pat Clements. He is the most rested of the pitchers in the bullpen. So Pat Clements will come on. Could have used Stoddard, but he has a little bit extra. He probably could use a day off. He's a little bit over his usage right now. 3-3 with a 4.95 ERA for Clements. And he also had 7 saves. On the replays, 0-2 with a 4.82 ERA and 3 saves. So pretty much right in line with where he should be. And he's going to be facing Yount, Cooper, and Deere here in the bottom of the 8th. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. 6-5 for Clement is a solid double. I mean, that is a straight-up double. No question about it. No D20 needed. Solid double for Robin Yount. That'll bring up Cecil Cooper. Cooper will swing it 5-5. It's a fly to center. That's 1 away. That'll bring up Deere. First base is open if they want to walk Deere and pitch to the lefty Brock, but I think they're going to go ahead or they could set up a double play that way, actually. Let's see here. Brock's a much better hitter, though, average-wise. But Deere is more dangerous than the power alley. They'll go ahead and pitch to Deere. 1-8, and they struck him out. So smart move there not to walk him. And now you got a clutch situation with Greg Brock. He's a .299 hitter on the real season. Not sure he's quite as good against lefties. Clements, let's see here. Let me finish. Put these outs in the computer, so let me get caught up. Fly out, a strikeout. Okay. Now we got Brock in a clutch situation against lefties in the clutch. He gains a hit on 312, and that's it. Everything else is pretty neutral. 6-10, lefty is a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Pagliarulo, 2E20 to get him out of the inning. Needs a good roll in the 2E20. 2-18 is definitely a good roll. We're checking the error. That's a 9. E20 and a 9 should be okay, I would think. Yep, it is. 11, 14, and 15 are errors, so Pagliarulo makes the play. And that takes us to the top of the 9th. Last chance saloon for the Yankees. And they will be facing Wegman. He will come out and start the inning. Dan Plesac is loosening the bullpen in case Wegman gets into trouble, but they're going to give Wegman every opportunity to complete this game. It'll be Ward, Winfield, and Pagliarulo. And you've already seen the bench. There's not much out there, so pretty much Yankees are going with their starting 9. There's not a whole lot to add to that. So here's Gary Ward. Ward is 0 for 3. 6-4 for Wegman as they fly to center field. Robin Yount takes that one away. Wegman going for the complete game. See, did he have any complete games in the real season? Check his numbers here real quick. The Strat computer doesn't tell me. He probably did. I haven't looked it up, but Strat computer does not show that. All right, here's Winfield. He is 1 for 3. That is going to be a 4-7. Ground ball shortstop X looking at Swain. 3E25 for Swain. 3 and a 15 is good all day long. E25 and an 11 is, E25 and a 10 should be okay, I would think. Aren't that many 10s? Nope. E25 and 10 is just fine. So Swain will make the play. And Wegman 1 out away from the complete game victory. I know Yount has homered and doubled in this game, but I think you kind of have to give it to Wegman if he completes this shutout as player of the game. Here is Mike Pagliarulo. He had 7 of them. Thank you. Hello, Larry D. Good to see you. He had 7 complete games in 1987. That's good. Well, he's certainly bucking for one right here against Pags. 2-4 for Pags, and that's a strikeout. What an appropriate way to end the ball game for Wegman. He finishes in style with a strikeout. This is really weird. It's only his 3rd strikeout. He started the game with a strikeout, and he ends the game with a strikeout, but he only had 1 strikeout in between. But that doesn't matter. 3-0 Brewers as they get the victory. And we'll go to the box score and wrap this thing up. Charles Hudson is the tough luck loser. So Hudson will drop to 5-3 with the loss. Clements goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, nothing else with a strikeout. Wegman, 9 innings pitched, 3 hits, pitches a 3-hit shutout. Walks 2, strikes out 3. Each team committed an error. 3-5-1 for the Brewers, 0-3-1 for the Yankees. Yankees left on 6, Brewers left on 5. Wegman improves to 6-1 with the victory. And more importantly, the Brewers improved to 35-16. The Yankees dropped to 34-21. So the Yankees are now 3 games back of the Brewers in the AL East. And the Brewers are a game and a half. They get their game and a half lead back on the Blue Jays. So Wegman, 12-11 in the real season, but he's 6-1 now on the replay. So, hello, Kenyon. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been a fun year with this replay, and I'm obviously going to take pretty much all of 26 and probably a lot of 27 to finish this one. But we're going to keep plugging away at it every day. We're at game 369, and we're just going to keep going. So now I did play one game offline on my own just to try to get through the replay a little quicker. I tried to pick a game that really wasn't necessarily all that popular or didn't affect the standings that much. So I did play in game 368. I did play the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners, and it was Seattle crushing the Royals 12-5. They pounded Charlie Leibrandt, and the Mariners pounded out 17 hits in that game. Hound Dog Jim Presley went 4 for 5 with 3 runs scored. So he's probably the player of the game, although Alvin Davis did hit his 11th home run. Tarbell hit his 14th in the 9th. Really didn't matter too much. But there you go. That's what that game was. That's why it was game 368. But we just completed game 369. Game 370 will be Texas and Minnesota. I just don't know when it's going to be because with the holiday and everything going on, and I've got, like I said, commitment. I'm going to Friday morning, so I could play maybe something Friday afternoon, but it wouldn't be Friday morning, that's for sure. Could do it Friday afternoon, I guess. Late Friday afternoon, almost into the evening. So, yeah, certainly being retired certainly helps. That's for sure. No question about it. When I was working, man, I had to really negotiate, my hobby time to be able to sneak up here for an hour or so once in a while and play a game. But now that I've got more time, obviously that lends itself to more games. And if anybody was curious, I think I've shown this before, but I haven't really done anything permanent with this yet. But for people that are wondering what I'm doing with all the score sheets, this is my little accordion folder with all the score sheets in it. Move this thing out of the way. So this has all the score sheets in it. So all I do is just drop this one. The most recent game just drops in right behind everything else. But there you go. So if we go all the way back to the first game of the project, I was using this kind of score sheet. I was using that kind of score sheet in the project. I got this off of Baseball Sim Research. So that was like going way, way back here. So a lot of stuff going on here, but that's where I keep my score sheets. So I have them all in order by date and whatnot. And thank goodness that Spokane Steve was nice enough to send me the score sheet that is the modified version of the Form B, because with all the pitching changes, they just don't give you any room down here. It'd be nice if you took this part right here, copied it maybe right here. I don't need any comments. I'd rather have a pitching line myself. And of course, you merge it together here. I mean, Jeffrey Guterman, when he was doing his games, kept it very neat and tidy. I wasn't so fortunate with mine, so I enjoy the fact that it's got the extra stuff on it. All right, so supposedly, well, not supposedly, it is going to, FedEx is telling me it's coming between 12:45 and 3:45. So once that gets here, I will do a live unbagging. And we will see first and foremost right up front live whether Strat-O-Matic came through with the extra players for 2020 or whether they sent me a fourth set, or actually be a third set. It'd be a fourth set of the Dodger, Phillies, Pirates, Cardinal duplications of the standard deck. We'll see. Hopefully they got it right this time. Hopefully they would have more sense than to repackage that and send it out. You would think they would, if they didn't have it, they would just give me a refund. So since the fact that they sent it out leads me to believe as a rational person that they actually had it and was able to send it out to me. Or otherwise I would have been expecting an email saying, hey, I'm sorry, we're out of stock. We don't have it. We'll just send you a refund. I didn't get that email. I got a FedEx tracking email. So I'm going to take it on good faith that means they actually had it in stock and they're actually sending me the right thing. Hello, Colin. Unfortunately, the game is over, but go back and watch it if you like. I won't give any spoilers for anybody that wants to go back and watch it from the get-go. But yeah, this afternoon, be on the lookout for a Garcia. I don't know who Garcia. I don't know I didn't ask the gentleman his name. The one I talked to, he was a very nice gentleman. I just didn't ask his name or anything. But I will. If something goes wrong, if they get it wrong this time, I doubt I even bother calling them. I'm just going to say screw it and be done with them. Not done with the game, but done with the company and done with purchases. Because, like I said, I've got more Strat-O-Matic cards than I know what to do with right now. So I've got season sets that I'll never play with. I got season sets I bought that I have never played with. I mean, I eventually want to do something with the 1962. It's a great set. I'd like to play some with that. 1920 is interesting because of the Black Sox. No, I don't need any new sets, Jeff. I mean, even think the only thing that might get me out to buy something is if they came out with 1975 and the Super Advanced. Other than that, not even 79 is gonna get me in there because I've already got 79 in inside pitch. So if I want to play 79, I've got it in that, and I've got the advanced 1979 Strat season. I bought that with the old game parts a while back off eBay. I mean, it's only 20 cards per team, but it is the original unperforated pre-cut cards, the old black and white ones and blue and white ones from 1979. I do have those. So I really, if I really wanted to play a 1979 game, I could do that. But I don't know. I mean, it's really 75 to get the Reds and the Red Sox. I've got them in the Diamond Gems, but obviously those are normalized. I think they're not the actual cards that you would get in the regular season. So the only way I'd buy something right now that I can think of is if they offered the 75. But other than that, I'm certainly not buying 25. So 75 would be the only one that would get me to pull the trigger on that. So now, if it comes through incorrectly, I'm just going to contact them again and say, hey, you screwed up. Just give me a refund on the difference. Let's not play around. Just give me the $5 refund or whatever it happens to be, whatever the charge is for the extra players. Or I might just say screw it, and not even worry about the refund. Just be done with them. I wouldn't even want to deal with them at that point. But I'm optimistic. Maybe that's maybe that's naivete, but I am optimistic that they will come through. So with the win, the Brewers, well, I won't say it in case somebody wants to watch it later. But anyway, the next game is going to be Minnesota and Texas from the Metrodome, and they are both fighting for what is now fourth place. They're a half game behind Kansas City for fourth place. Only 4.5 games back of Oakland, so they're still in the mix. But it will be Texas and Minnesota. It'll be Charlie Huff against Frank Viola, so a really nice pitching matchup there. Don't know if that's going to be, when that's going to be actually, but we'll figure it out. The problem with the extra players is they were saying that because the 2020 set didn't sell all that well, they just didn't have a whole lot in stock. So I'm hoping since they did physically mail it out, I'm hoping that means they were able to scrounge up a copy of the extra players, even if they had to take it from one of their regular 2020 sets just to fill this one. I don't know, but we can hope. I like that, Dan. I like it. Maybe I get them on a Zoom call. See if I can get them on a Zoom call live on the channel. Wouldn't that be something? Let me speak to Hal. I want to speak to Hal directly. Give me a direct line to Hal. If Hal's still awake. I know Hal's about 90 years old or something, but if he's still around and able and moving around. Yep, you sure did. You bought it back when it was first came out, I guess, and they had it in stock, but I guess I guess that's why it was put on the Imagine set anyway. Was put on sale so cheap is because they have a hard time selling it. I'm pretty sure HAL is unavailable. I don't think it's. Well, Joe. Hopefully, I mean, I much prefer that they give me the right cards and I can come on here and I will sing that. I will be the first one to sing Strat-O-Matic's praises, how much improved their customer service is and their quality is. If that happens this afternoon, I will do it. But if it comes up where they send that crap again, be ready for an ID rant. I mean, I can't rant as good as he can, but I'll try. But it's going to be live, so you'll know when I know. Yeah, that's the reason why I bought it with the order I just did, because it was so cheap. Well, the only reason I deleted the videos because I had video trouble. It was I didn't delete it. I just put it on private. It's still out there. I mean, if anybody wants it, you can send me an email and I'll send you the link or whatever. But I had computer problems. The computer froze up on me, so I was thinking the Strat-O-Matic guys were punishing me or whatever. So it froze up on me, and I had to pretty much kill the video. And then when I re-signed back on to get back on and try to continue the video, not realizing that I brought my laptop upstairs without the power cord, and then the power went out. I didn't realize I was so low on battery, and then it conked out the second time because the battery ran out. So that's why I figured I just, it wasn't good. So let me just take it off. So, but it wasn't long at all. No, it was, I think it was 7 minutes before it conked out. Let me go back and look at the actual. Let me go back and look at the actual what it shows for a time. This is showing 7 minutes and 54 seconds was the total video. So, all right, I got to change it to unlisted. So hold on, let me see here. Can I get this? Come on, give me something here. There we go. All right, Jeff, I sent it to you. I made it unlisted. That's the only way I could send it to somebody. So I did send it to you in an email, the link in the email. So if you want to pull that up and watch it at your own leisure, you can do that. But I'd much rather come back and do this live video and sing Strat-O-Matic's praises. That's what I'd rather do. I'm hoping I get that opportunity. That's what I'm hoping for. So, but we shall see. So, at some point this afternoon, I will be on for the live unbagging, and we'll see what we will see. Hopefully, this will complete the circle, and we won't have a continuing saga. Well, it won't be continuing anyway, because if we screw it up, then I'm done with it. So there won't be anything continuing. I'm not even going to fight it anymore. I'm just going to. Yes, Dan, I told them specifically what team sets. I told them the extra players were wrapped, or the players were wrapped as extra players, but they're really duplicates of the original team sheets. And I told them I told them what showed on the front and what showed on the back. The Dodgers on the front, Cardinals on the back. And I told them, I said, please check your inventory so you don't send this out to anybody else. So I did try to warn them about that. Hopefully they will pull those off and not try to send those to somebody else. That's what I'm hoping for. But from what they're telling me, when I was talking to the guy, the 2020 Imagine set is not something that they're selling a whole lot of. So most likely it's just sitting there in their inventory. I'm guessing it just wasn't a popular thing. I don't know. But to me, with the Demolition League, now the more I think about it, that's perfect for the Demolition League because there's no expectations. There's no real stats involved. They're real players, but they're fictional stats. So to me, it lends itself to the demolition like type league. But I really need the extra players because I want to have good depth. I can't do a demolition league when I only have 27 players per team. I mean, that just doesn't cut it. You know, if I'm going to do injuries and stuff, I got to have the extra players. And I don't have it on computer, so I can't print the extra players. So I have to have the extra players. So anyway, that is. But like I said, I'm hoping that I can come out after this, during this unbagging, and talk about what a great customer service Strat-O-Matic just gave me. So that's what I'm hoping for. Cool. I'm glad you're able to do that, Jeff. Like I said, it's if I look at, let me look at my email. Oops, there we go. I didn't want that. Hold on. Let's go up here. All right, so this is what it's showing from a FedEx tracker. And it's showing today between 1:45 and 3:45. That's what it's showing me. You can see it made it from New York to Virginia, and it's saying that it's out for delivery. So we shall see. It says 1:45 to 3:45, and its destination is Petersburg, which is right next to where I am. So, but that's hopefully that gets here 1:45 to 3:45. So this afternoon, hopefully at least by 4 o'clock, I hope to have a live stream with this unbagging to make sure it is right. Now I will have my other stuff up here with me, the duplicates and the original and the roster sheet and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I've never experienced anything where it's been wrong before. This was the first time where they actually sent the wrong thing on the roster sheets. I mean, on the extra players. I didn't check it when I ordered it originally. I just saw the extra. I saw the 2020 had 2 packs of cellophane, so I just made the wrong assumption. I assumed, and you know what happens when you assume. I assumed that it was just the extra players. I should have noticed it then. I didn't. The only way I noticed it when I finally got around to thinking about doing the demolition league with the 2020, I decided to go ahead and open it, and that's when I found out about it. Because I thought it was strange because usually the extra players in that separate cellophane, they're like one guy from each team. It's all over. When I saw the whole sheet was Dodgers and they were the starting Dodgers, I mean, you're talking about Mookie Betts, uh, you know, Cody Bellinger. I mean, you're talking about regular guys, not some off the wall guy got 30 at bats. We're talking about starters. The whole sheet of that, I knew I was in trouble. So, and plus the sheet wasn't thick enough to uh, to have 288 cards. It was definitely a lot less than that. But we shall see. I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I will be waiting with bated breath for the FedEx guy to get here and drop it off to me. And then as soon as I can, I will get everything upstairs and do a live stream to show what came, and you guys will see it at the exact same time that I do. I can probably tell by the package because that package that I got the first time was not very heavy, and I could kind of tell that it wasn't all those cards. I think the 288 extra players will feel a little bit heavier. I don't know what kind of dramatic music I could use, Dr. D. Do you have any suggestions? I don't want to get copyright striked or anything on YouTube for using music, but I don't know. I don't know. I might have to think of a small clip of something I can run for maybe 5 or 6 seconds. I think you're allowed so many seconds to play something. Although I don't get this because there's some channels out there where they react to music videos and they'll play the whole music video and they'll get monetized for it. And to me, I'm like, wait a minute, don't you get copyright strikes for showing somebody else's music video that you're going to react to? But I get copyright strike because I use 5 seconds of somebody else's video. I don't understand all the rules on that. So maybe they've changed. I don't know. Or maybe there's some disclaimer you have to use. I don't know. Intro to Space Odyssey, huh? Okay, maybe the 2000. You're talking about the 2001 movie or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I may have to mull on that and see what if I can think of what kind of music to you. Oh, I remember what the music sounded like. Absolutely, but maybe I'll use Strat-O-Matic's own music. Remember, if you ever seen any of the Strat-O-Matic videos that they did for opening day, they have this little piano intro. I really like that music. I don't know where they got it from, but it's a really, if you ever watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a real kind of relaxing kind of piano, and then there's some other instruments that come in, but in the beginning, it's all just piano, and it's really, really, really mellow sounding, and it's really neat. And maybe I'll pull that and use that. I don't know, just to get into the Strat-O-Matic mood, you know. So I don't know. We'll figure something out. But my hope is to have starting 2026, starting like January, well, not the second because I'm got something to do on Friday, but starting maybe on the Monday, that 5th, to have 3 projects going, and just 3 projects going. The 1987 American League, the History Maker Baseball America set with the Ticonderoga Stooges, and the 2020 uh, Imagine set with the Demolition League. Those will be the 3 projects, and everything else will be cast to the side with no time frame on when to finish any of those, because none of those are time sensitive. It's not like I got to finish one to get to the other. But that's my goal. That would be 2 Strat-O-Matic projects and 1 History Maker project. So, and maybe play a random game of something else in between there. We'll see what happens. Or maybe I was thinking a rim shot, but I think it's more for jokes. But anyway, all right. So I got some things I need to get done around here before that time comes, so I can be ready for it. Got some cleanup to do around here to get ready for the new year. So, like I said, watch out for your around 4 o'clock. I'm assuming around 4 o'clock. Could be early. They could get here early. Could surprise me. You never know. But like I said, as soon as I get it, a couple minutes later, I'll be up here doing the unbagging, and we'll see what we will see. And we will either praise Strat-O-Matic to the hilt, or we will do an ID gesture type rant, one or the other. We will figure it out one way or the other. It'll be one of those two, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, I like that, Dabsy. I remember the wah 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 or something like that. That would be I could probably search YouTube for some sound effects that I could use. Maybe I don't know, but I'd rather get the sound effects of a bell. You know, ding ding ding. You know, they got it right. That's what I'm hoping for. It's what I'm planning for. And maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I've got a good feeling about this, as they say. So we'll find out for sure this afternoon. So I'm going to go drink some more coffee, eat some breakfast, and check on Tabby and get some work done around the house before that time arrives. So I hope you all are having a great New Year's Eve day. Hope you, if you have plans this evening, that you're safe, your travels, your partying, whatever it is you're doing. I'm personally staying home. I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'll be lucky if I'm awake at midnight to watch the ball drop. I'm usually half times I'm asleep before then. I used to when I was much younger, I used to like watching the Clark Rockin' New Year's Eve thing, but since Dick Clark passed away and got out of that, it just hasn't been the same since. But I used to, and I was right on that Dick Clark thing. That was the tradition, but I kind of got away from that. But oh well, whatever. All right, fine people. Thank you for being here for this presentation of Strat-O-Matic 1987, where the Brewers and the Yankees went to battle. And check in this afternoon, and we'll see what happens. Until then, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.